My name is Ebony Iman, and I'm an artist and a graphic designer, and I currently live in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. My artistic medium is painting and drawing. I mainly do portraits of different people that I admire, as well as family and friends. My followers would describe my work as very whimsical and organic. Each line kind of connects in its own way, and I just flow with that just to kind of see what happens in the end. It creates things that I couldn't have imagined. So I would say whimsical and organic and very colorful wraps it up. My defining moment as an artist was, actually I have the piece here, so I'll show it to you. In 2008, I was kind of trying to break out of the way that I had been painting. It was very much like photorealism, and so I was kind of tied down to the photograph to kind of see how I wanted my final paintings to come out. And it was, although it was a beautiful experience and I enjoyed doing paintings that way, I wanted to kind of break out of my shell because I felt like I was so tied down to that photograph that I wasn't fully expressing myself as an artist. And so this drawing I did in 2008 when I was in Hargeisa for the summer, and I just kind of started out with one figure in mind, which started out as a flower, but then I told myself, okay, you can't erase any marks, you just continue with whatever, whatever shapes and lines that it makes. And then it ended up creating this image that, some people see different things. Some people see a woman in a dress. A person said that they see a goat face, and it's just something that I could have never imagined, but it's really changed the way that I paint and the kind of paintings that I create. They're a lot more organic since I did this drawing that many years ago. And it's called In Progress because it's never really finished. So the piece that I created depicts myself along with my grandmother, and it's called In What Language Does Love Speak? And I'll read a poem that I created that explains it. In what language does love speak? Is it Swahili, Somali, Amharic, or English? And how does it feel? What does it smell like? Is it in the sight and sense my ancestors breathed across oceans? Or in the eyes of Iman Jr. staring up at me? Is it in her name? Long lost child I was now found, with a namesake the age of our reunion. Is it right here, AAO, connecting you and me? Above my head, now hanging down from my neck where you placed it, welcoming me. In what language does love speak as I collect dictionaries filled with the very language circumstances kept me from? But now I'm with you, and with choice I stand, AAO. Grateful for your love and acceptance, as mutual gratitude reveals. And I release cycles of anxiety, worries, and fears for good. One could jalahai in languages I've yet to speak, but I know you can hear, and we understand one another without a sound. I would describe Elias's piece as, it's like he's sharing a piece of history. He's sharing his story, his personal story. He talks a lot in this piece about his mother and his family's journey from Ethiopia to the United States. And his mother met his father when she was here. They moved to California, and she met his father there. I can really relate to that story, to his personal story, because my father, he left Somalia when, well, of course before I was born, but he left Somalia to come to the States for school, and, it was here that he met my mother. And so, his father's African American, my mother's African American. He talks a lot about this cultural blend, and so like even in his music, he talks about like mixing food, like mixing traditional Ethiopian food with some, some foods that are common here in the States. And so how I relate is, although my father passed away before I was born, so I didn't have a lot of that influence until I was a little older, when I was reconnected with my family. And so my piece, it shows me with my grandmother. This depicts like the first time we met. And so it shows me wearing my, just wearing the clothes that I wear normally, here in the States, my jeans, whatever. But it also shows embracing the, like henna. My grandmother, we had henna done for, the first time, my first trip to visit her in Hargeisa and my family. This is what my grandmother gave me the first time I came to her house, right before she threw a big party for me. So when I got off the plane, my uncle picked me up, took me to my grandmother's house. She came outside and put this around my neck. And that's why I decided it was important to put in this piece, because, it's something that I'll always keep with me. If I had the power to change the world or, in my community in some way, I would say it would be inspiring artists to believe that we have the ability to create positive change in our own communities, whether it's using our talents to draw attention to certain causes that are going on in our communities that need to be addressed. I think the media has a whole lot to do with different perceptions that people have of each other, different groups have of each other, and we create media, whether it's paintings, it's music, it's video, it's film, it's all media, and it all has the power to tell stories. So if I could do anything, it would be, sharing that information with other artists, and not feeling like they always have to just create pretty pictures that people just want to buy. There's a lot of power in creating paintings and art that has a deeper meaning to it that can positively affect your community.